Good afternoon, this is the Forest Daughter Creel, and I thought I'd try to bead along the side of a card today using like a double running stitch, down beaded and back up beaded. This card is a LianaScrap add-on for the Golden Forest kit. She's available on Etsy. And the back is my own tea-dyed paper. So I don't have an awl. I managed to break mine. So I'll be poking holes down the side just with the thumbtack. Of course, I can't find a straight line, but we'll try. As always, junk journaling doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. No, not too bad. I'm hoping that when I run them threads up and down, I'll have enough on the ends to be able to thread beads on the ends as well at the top. That's about enough. Okay. I'll be using a tapestry needle today. It's what you would use to do cross stitch or some forms of embroidery. What makes it easy to use is that the tip is blunt. Get it into the screen, there we go. And the eye is larger than, there we go, larger than most betweens or sewing needles, so you can fit your floss inside. I've picked just a simple gold and brown floss. It works well with the colors on the front, and it works well with the tea-dyed paper on the back. People laugh at the way I thread a needle, but whatever works. So I am leaving enough to tie it off and hang down the back here. These beads are a fun bead. They're the lopsided bead. I don't know if you can see this. It's wider on one side than the other. It'll make it hang interesting when we get to the top and thread the ends to hang down the side of the card. I just picked one that's got some soft, pretty pastel colors in it that pick up the colors along the edges of this card here. So it's got some greens and teals and a little bit of blue. I'm gonna go in this way. I'm just holding this edge down to pull it through, and I'm gonna add beads along the back as well. This one's not fitting through the hole in the bead. There we go. One on the back. One on the front. gonna let this dangle, get a little torque out of the thread there. Okay. Another on the back. Bead on the front. Again, DMC floss needs to unwind every few stitches. Makes it easier than fussing with knots. I just let the needle dangle down and it untwists. So how's your day been going? We woke up to a rainy day and it is so humid. No fun to be outside. I'm here in central Illinois. Trees are heavy with their dark green summer leaves. Saw a little baby possum in the yard yesterday evening. I love those little critters. They're like stupid kittens. Okay, now I'm going to turn around and go back. At this point, you could just tie a knot on both ends and call it beautiful, but I'm going to see what happens if I backtrack beading as I go and then bead both ends at the top. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna let the thread dangle here. Getting kind of twisty. Okay, I'm back. I don't know, I kind of liked it with fewer beads, but let's just finish this idea out and see if it works. Of course, you could go back with a different kind of bead. Back up the trail. Some of the beads may have holes that are too tiny. Just set them aside and use the next one. Some of you may have done cross stitch with beads on paper. This has a similar feel, except this paper is quite a bit sturdier. You don't have to feel like I'm working with something so delicate. Okay, we've reached the top, and I'm going to take off the needle for a sec so I can tie this more easily. And I'm just going to tie a knot here. And this string is way too long to work with, so I'm going to cut it down just a little. Using a tiny hole punch by Fiskars, I'm just gonna poke a hole here, and then I like the corners rounded for the beading, so I'll just cut that loose. What I'm gonna do is bring both threads back out to the front. And I'm going to tie a knot to keep the beads from sliding up and down. A little double knot here. Excuse me while I rethread the needle. I am one of those people who runs it between my lips to get it damp. Gonna do a stack. Short stack of the beads together. You can see the different sides of the beads allow them to stack in neat patterns. I'm going to add 2 more, maybe just 1 more. I'm going to use the needle to help me slide the knot up to the top of to the bottom of the beads here. Pull it tight. Maybe I've got the beads threaded through the knot, of course. Try again. Here we go. I'm going to double it. Okay. Then on the other string, I'm going to do the same thing. Let's start with the knot. I want to start beading at about the same place. So I'll put the knot that holds the beads in place there. If anybody's got a secret for stacking the knots, oh, please let me know. And since these beads are of fairly regular size, I'm just going to count how many I put on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and string 7 on this side. Tie a double knot. Then I'm gonna line the ends up. I don't know. What do you guys think? Was this a worthwhile endeavor? I'm not sure this is the best way, just threading them through here, but they're not gonna come back through because of the beads. So I'm not worried about losing anything. And we did tie a knot here to keep it in place. Let me know what you think. I kind of like it. And these are the beads that are a little bubbly. I'm gonna show you which ones they were. They're a Magatama size 3mm Toho. And they're called Gold Lined Rainbow Black. They work nicely with some of these pastel forest colors. All right, thanks for tuning in. This is The Forest Daughter.